All right, guys, for this video, I'm going to actually skip over 3 because that one's a little bit different. Number 4, I'm going to do this. This is going to be just like the last video, except the only difference is see how we also have cosine and sine. So what's going to wind up happening is since you have both sine and cosine on the other side, on the right side, you're going to have to complete the square twice when you get everything in terms of x's and y's. All right, so I'm still going to kind of follow the same steps. Okay, so let's kind of zero in here. So just like number 1 and 2, we're going to multiply both sides by r to get that r squared. All right, so when I left side, r times r is r squared. Now, real important, when I multiply this right side, I'm going to put the r's next to the cosine and next to the sine. So really, I just replace them with x and y. So on the right side, it's 2 times r cosine of theta minus 3r times sine of theta. Okay, then we can convert, right? This r squared is the same as saying x squared plus y squared. This r cosine of theta is the same, that equals x. So that's just writing it as 2x. This r times sine of theta is y. So then we can put minus 3y. All right, so same exact steps, but as I said before, now you have x's and y's, so when we move these over, we're going to group the x's and y's together, and we're going to complete the square for each of the x's and the y's. So we group the x's together. We'll have, let's see here, x squared. It'll be minus 2x because you'll subtract 2x from both sides. So you know what, let's do this. We'll kind of skip steps here because I think we're probably good at it. We'll put plus the number when you complete the square. Then we'll have plus y squared. And then when we move this negative 3y over, we're going to add it. So it's going to be plus 3y. Ooh, it's going to get a little bit ugly when we complete that. Okay, then we put plus, then we'll have the box. All right, then it's equal to 0, but then we're going to have whatever we get in these two boxes to compensate, we're going to put these over here and add them together. All right, so now we look at this, complete the square. All right, well, half of that 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1, so I'm going to put a 1 here and then a 1 here to compensate. Okay, this is the one that gets a little bit ugly. We have 3 over 2 and then squared. It's going to give us a decimal. So you get 1.5 and you square it, which actually gives us, what, 9 over 4, which is, let's see here, 9 over 4 is 2 1/4. So we'll put 2 1/4 here. So it gets a little ugly. Okay, then when we factor, these both are going to factor to perfect squares. So this is going to be x minus 1 quantity squared plus the y is going to be y plus, and it's always going to be this. Half of the middle coefficient is what you get here when you factor it. So it's going to be y plus 3 over 2, or 1.5 squared. And then we add this 1 and the 2 1/4, and we get 3 1/4. So now, it's a little bit ugly because you have fractions and decimals, but we'll still be able to graph it. So the center for this circle is 1, and then it's always opposite. So we'll say, let's make it a decimal, negative 1.5. Now the radius is going to be the square root of whatever this 3.25 is. So go ahead, put that in your calculator. When you put that in, it gives you around 1.8. All right, so a little bit ugly with the decimals, but that's all right. We can still graph it. So let's put our center is at 1, negative 1.5. So 1, negative 1.5 is right about here. Okay, let me kind of make this a little bit bigger, make it easier for me to graph. Okay, then we're going to move it. Here's our center. We're going to move it 1.8. So this is a half. This is 1.5. You have to move it up another 3/10, which is right about there. Okay, and I'll do the same going all the way around. Here's 1. Oops. I move it here to the right 1, and then 0.8 is like right about there. All right, so let's put those points in. I'll put these in blue. All right, so let's see here, 0.51. So we got this point to the right. Let's see here, 1.8 is right about there. See, this gets a little ugly. If I go down, let's see here, 0.51, go down another 0.3, right about there. To the left, we go 1.8, it's like right about there, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and there's our circle right there. All right, but same exact steps as number 1 and 2. You're going to get circles. Just get it in that standard form. This one, since you had sine and cosine in it, you had to complete the square twice.